So let's use the mic.
Press, thank you for being here tonight. It has been a long day for all of us and for Nigerians as they await the outcome of the negotiation between the federal government and the Nigerian Labour Congress and the Trade Union Congress. We've had very painstaking and meticulous deliberations, but what is important here is Nigeria, and all of us are committed to ensuring that this country remains united, peaceful, and prosperous. And that is the spirit behind every inch of this negotiation. We're grateful to say that at this point, we finally have an agreement to be jointly signed by the Trade Union Congress, the Nigerian Labour Congress, and the federal government. The details contained in the agreement will be presented by the Honourable Minister of Labour and Employment. Thank you for being here. Good evening.
Okay, thank you very much. The Honourable Minister of Finance, the Honourable Minister Humanitarian Affairs, the Honourable Minister Information and Communication, the Minister of State, Labour and Employment, the President Nigerian Labour Congress, the President of TUC, our able members of the Union, leaders of the Nigerian Labour Congress and the TUC, gentlemen of the press, ladies and gentlemen. Let me thank God for this great opportunity. It has been a very long process. We started from the Ministry of Labour and Employment down to today. And by the grace of God, like the Minister of Information mentioned, we resolve. And all of us resolve with a smiling face. I will say with a smiling face, not with any trouble in the interests of this country. I will go ahead to read some of the issues we arrived at, and then we can all go in and sign our signatures and append our signatures on these documents. So first of all, I must thank you too for being patient. We thank Nigerians also for being patient within this period. Now, this is a memorandum of understanding reached between the federal government and of Nigeria and the Nigerian Labour Congress, NLC, and the Trade Union Congress of Nigeria, TUC, as a result of dispute arising from withdrawal of subsidy of the price of premium motor spirit PMS on Monday, the 2nd day of October 2023. Arising from the withdrawal of subsidy on premium motor spirit PMS by the federal government and the resultant increase in the price of the commodity, the Nigerian Labour Congress and the Trade Union Congress issued a strike notice, which elapsed, and they were forced to embark on a strike bill to commence on Tuesday, the 3rd of October 2023. Consequently, a meeting was called by the federal government to avert the strike, and after much discussion, the following agreements were reached. 1. The federal government grants a wage award of 35,000 naira only to all federal government workers, beginning from the month of September, pending when a new minimum wage is expected to have been signed into law. 2. A minimum wage committee shall be inaugurated within 1 month from the date of this agreement. 3. Federal government suspends collection of value-added tax, VAT, on diesel for 6 months beginning from October 2023. 4. Federal government accepts to vote 100 billion for the provision of high-capacity buses for mass transit in Nigeria, that is CNG. Provisions are also being made for initial 54,000 CNG conversion kits to kickstart an auto gas conversion program. Whilst work is ongoing on the start of the state-of-the-art CNG station nationwide, the rollout aims to commence by November with pilots across 10 campuses nationwide. 5. The federal government plans to implement various tax incentive measures for private sector and the general public. 6. On the leadership crisis rocking the NURTW and the purported proscription of Retian, RTEN, the federal government commits to handling labor matters in line with relevant ILO conventions and Nigerian Labor Acts. A resolution of the ongoing impasse is expected by or before October 13. 7. The issue of outstanding salaries and wages of tertiary education workers in federal-owned educational institutions is being referred to Ministry of Labor and Employment for further engagement. 8. The federal government commits to pay $25,000 per month for 3 months, starting from October 2023, to 15 million households, including vulnerable pensioners. 9. The federal government will increase its initiative on subsidized distribution of fertilizers to farmers across the country. 10. The federal government should urge state government through the National Economic Council and Governors Forum to implement wage award to their workers. Similar consideration should also be given to local governments and the private sector workers. 11. The federal government commits to the provisions of funds as announced by President on the 1st of August broadcast to the nation for micro and small-scale enterprises. The MSME's beneficiaries should commit to the principle of decent jobs. 12. A joint visitation will be made to the refineries to ascertain their rehabilitation status. 13. All parties commit to henceforth abide by the dictates of social dialogue in all our future engagements. 14. The NLC and the TUC accept to suspend for 30 days the planned indefinite nationwide strike scheduled to begin Tuesday, the 3rd of October 2023. And 15. This memorandum shall be filed with the relevant court of competent jurisdiction within 1 week as consent judgment by the federal government. And now the signatories. Then here, the TUC President is here, the Minister for Labor and Employment. I am the Chief Conciliator, supported by the Minister for State, Labor and Employment. On the side of the federal government too, you can also see the Minister for Information and Communication is here, the Minister for Finance is here, Minister for Humanitarian Affairs is here. And on this side, you can see the Secretary of the Labour Congress is also here. The Secretary of the TUC is here. So nobody is not, I won't say there's anybody that is relevant that is not here. Thank you very much. The signing, okay.
Ask the
Minister has read the agreement, so what else am I supposed to say? There are questions for me to respond to.
Yeah, TUC President has the strike recorded.
It is contained in the text.
And what happens after that 30 days?
After
30 days.
After 30 days, if these issues are not implemented, we'll revisit all the issues.
All the issues to be implemented in 30 days?
No, the ones that have that timeline. Because if they are not implemented within that period, it shows bad faith.
And this is for federal government workers, especially staff. What happens to the workers at state level?
The workers at the state level will have organs in those places that use this as a benchmark to go towards the implementation. That's the essence of suspending a strike. When you suspend a strike, you return back to work.
Does it mean this is...
Now, to at the time we're taking this decision, do you think we're able to still mobilize so that the effect is not felt from the street?
Well, there might be some pockets of hitches, which has to do with information flow and probably logistics. Those ones are manageable. But this information through our organs will go down because everybody is expecting our position as at now, because we went to our organs to take mandate, to take decision here. You know, and then these decisions have been taken. Somebody else wanted to?
Yeah, I wanted to ask, considering the fact that states are not part of this meeting, will this affect states?
It's the same thing as asking whether the subsidy removal affected the states. In some states, you know, there are some measures. Some governors are paying 20, some are paying 10 to mitigate this already. So it is something that affects everybody. In some private sector companies, they are taking some measures. I can remember one or two banks that have actually implemented about 100% wage review. So it's not something that, you know, we are saying whether it will affect them or not. It will, you know, and then it's a measure that is aimed at cushioning the effect of this harsh policy, you know, harsh policy in the sense that it was not anticipated, and it appeared that the fabric, you know, of the source of existence of Nigerians. So that is a stark reality that is facing all of us. So we have to face it.
Thank you. Thank you. The President of TUC, other officials of both the NLC and the TUC.
All protocol observed. Gentlemen of the press, good evening to every one of us. So as contained in the signed communique, which I believe you will have a copy any moment from now, and as attested to as well by the President of NLC, we have a signed agreement, and we have signed this agreement with the belief that government will act in utmost good faith. We signed this agreement with the belief that every single item in this agreement are implementable. Every single item in this agreement, we are extremely serious about them, and we wish to also reiterate that we are expecting 100% implementation and not a 99% in any way. So we believe that when this is implemented, and also when it's cascaded down, because there's a portion in the agreement that talks about what will be done, or rather the encouragement that should be given to people working in the private sector and also to people that are working in the state as well as local government. So we believe that when this is cascaded down, it will alleviate the pains that Nigerians are facing at the moment. Thank you so much. We appreciate it.
As you can hear, the strike has now officially been suspended based on this agreement, and the federal government is committing itself to ensuring that all the aspects of this agreement will be implemented. Thank you very much, gentlemen of the press. We thank you very much.
Thank you.
Solidarity
forever. People united and not defeated.
Musba, how's it going?